Hi, friends. This is Dee-Dee Devon of Divine Intervention, Lifestyle, and Nutrition Health Coaching. I am having just an awesome day. Granted, I go looking for it and I find it, but I can honestly say that I literally have no bad days. And that includes all the negative emotions and things. I still make peace with all of that as well. And today is especially the best day ever. Almost. I'm waiting on pins and needles for our brand new grandbaby to be born, so it could be any minute. So I hope you're having an amazing day, like seriously, an amazing day. And that would be my wish for you. Today, I'm going to talk about self image. And this concept will help you have many more amazing days if you learn this concept first. Self image is really the way you see yourself. And when we say see, that is really how you interpret and think about yourself. It's not just the factual ways you see yourself, but obviously the opinions you have of yourself. We spend a lot of time trying to manage how other people see us. In fact, for most of us, this is a full-time job, managing how other people see us, the way we dress, the kind of house we live in, the kind of car we drive. The way we do anything can really be about other people without even realizing that that's what we're doing. I have to say that this used to be true for me for the longest time. I didn't even realize it that I was living my life trying to control how other people would think about me. There was a time once, I don't think I've even ever shared this before, but I went to the grocery store to buy some flowers for my house, and I wanted to buy the ones that I most liked. And I didn't really know how to answer to myself of what was my favorite flower because I'd always been thinking in terms of what other people would like. What are the ones that would be most impressive, that would look best in that vase or in that place? And but these flowers were just for me. In my house, no one was going to see them. They were just for me. So if I was just going to enjoy them, what flowers would I most want to see? And I was stunned that I didn't know the answer. I did the same exercise by myself. What if I lived on an island all by myself? And what if I was the only one that saw my body? And I was the only one that would touch my body and look at my body and experience my body? What would I most want on that island for my body, for that experience? That will really blow your mind to do that kind of work. What bothers you and why? And what doesn't bother you that you think should bother you? And what feels best in your body and for your body? And it's just a really magical way to access your own opinion about yourself. And I think it's really fascinating to stop yourself and say, what is your opinion based on about you? Is it based on what other people think about you? Are we socialized so deeply, like I was, that it's all about other people's opinions and pleasing other people and being appropriate or being presentable or being liked by other people? And does that match with how you really think and feel about yourself? Since I've done so much of the work on myself through my schooling and my studies in transformational health and life coaching, on my self image and how I think about myself, I've gotten to the place where I'm pretty opinionated about who I am. My worthiness and my lovability, my acceptableness and my unacceptableness in the world. And my opinions are so strong, they tend to drown out other people's opinions. Other people's opinions aren't really relevant to me. Except maybe when it comes to what I wear, I would say that my husband's opinion is kind of relevant to me. I want to make him happy, and I do notice that I want to please him in terms of what I wear. But I'm fine with that. But in terms of what other people think I should wear or what other people think is appropriate, it doesn't really affect me. And I can be very opinionated about what other people wear, which of course is none of my business, and people can wear whatever the hell they want. But I will offer my opinion if you ask. So that's my opinion, and that's how I feel about myself. And these are my opinions about myself and what I like, and my preferences, and I stand by them. And then you can release everybody else's opinion into the world. And you also recognize that your opinion about anyone else is none of their business. And if they don't agree with your opinion, it doesn't matter at all. So here's an exercise that I want you to think about doing. It's kind of a way to trick your brain into not rejecting the idea that you care about what other people think about you, because so many of us are so obsessed about what other people think about us that we don't even want to look at it. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about, what is your dream of how others see you? Like, if you could really dictate what everyone's opinion of you would be, what would it be? And think about the following. Think about the generalized other, which is that group of people that will see you in public. Would they say, wow, she's gorgeous. Wow, she's amazing. She's smart. What is it that you want that generalized other? She's well dressed. She's thin. That was mine for the longest time. It was really important to me that when people thought, what people thought about me was that they thought about my thinness. It sounds so ridiculous. It sounds so ridiculous saying it out loud right now, but that was super important to me. And what do you want your boss to think about you? What do you want your friends, your mom to think about you? What do you want your kids to think about you? Really go to the place in the best case scenario that they would think about you, that you are good and strong and wonderful and capable and talented, kind and generous. Just go for it. What do you want them to think about you? And really think about why you want them to think that about you. Like, I wanted people to think that I was thin because I thought being thin was the answer to the universe. So if other people thought I was thin, then I would have the secret to the universe, which is so funny because when other people did think I was thin, I was like, you're dumb, I'm fat. What are you talking about? It's so interesting that even when they did think that, I didn't believe them anyways. So that's part of the exercise, is to really understand what you want other people to think about you. What do you want your mom to say to you and think about you and feel about you? Your dad, like all the people, all the authority figures in your life. What's your dream come true? Then write all of that down and then pay close attention to it. Okay? Hold that thought. Okay, part 2. I want you to imagine yourself fully accomplished in the things that you most want to do, that you think that would prove your worthiness. So if that's having 1 million followers on Instagram, if that's having $3 million in your 401k, if it's having $1 million in the bank, for some of you, it might be selling your company or getting a book contract. Whatever it is for you, what do you think that, oh, if I achieve that, then I would be worthy. If I got into Harvard, if I finished the book and it became a bestseller, just let yourself dream. If I found the right husband and had children, what is it you think will help you arrive at worthiness? What is it you think is an important accomplishment for you to prove to yourself or to others that you have lived a worthy life? Okay? So exercise 1 is, what do you want other people to think about you? And exercise 2 is, what is the thing you think you need to achieve to prove your worthiness? And then, how would you think about yourself if you have achieved it? How would you think about yourself if you had a bestseller, a huge business, an exit deal, a gorgeous husband, beautifully accomplished kids, children who loved you to the moon and back? Whatever it is, how would you feel and think about you if you had accomplished those? Now, once you do these 2 exercises, you're going to have a long list of thoughts that you would love to think about yourself. It's the ideal self-image that you can have. Now, when I do this exercise with clients, they often feel uncomfortable about it. They feel like it means they're narcissistic. And I always want to really clarify the difference between having a really healthy, positive self image of yourself and being narcissistic. Okay? It's a huge difference. Or bragging or being full of yourself, which, again, whenever someone tells me I'm full of myself, I'm like, well, who else should I be full of, right? Obviously, I should be full of myself. I am full of myself. That's who I am. And I don't ever apologize for being full of myself. And I love myself and I think I'm amazing, and that's without apology. But here's the difference. When you are a narcissist, you think high of yourself and low of other people. When you're bragging, you're saying, I'm better than you. That is not what I'm suggesting, and that feels terrible, by the way. But when you think, I'm 100% worthy and lovable, I'm amazing, and so are you. My worthiness doesn't come from being better than you. My worthiness comes from being fully me. My worthiness doesn't come from earning someone's positive opinion of me. My worthiness comes from being me. Narcissism is loving yourself at the expense of others versus loving yourself to contribute to others. Here's what I've noticed to be true in my life. The more I love myself, the more I can contribute. The more I honor myself and take care of myself, the more I have to give. And the more I love myself genuinely, the more I love other people. Because listen, if I can get over judging myself and I can get over all my self loathing, you're so much easier to love than I ever was for me. That makes it much more powerful for me to be in the world. My love for myself doesn't take away from other people, it adds love to the world. I'm telling my husband, there's not enough love to go around. We need to share the love. Narcissism is about needing other people to love us and serve us and pay attention to us at their expense. That is not a high self image. That's a poor self image. That is, I love myself more than I love you, and you need to love me more than you love you. That comes from a deep pit of not enoughness. That is the opposite of what I'm talking about here. Narcissism is about self importance. It's about feeling entitled to obsessive admiration. It's about wanting to be recognized as superior. Having a positive self image and a positive opinion of yourself is that you know you're important, but you also know that everyone else is too. You know that you can admire yourself, and when you do, it will make it easier to admire other people. It means that you are amazing, but you are not superior to anyone else, but also no one is superior to you. It's humans and humans and humans, and we're all amazing and we're all great, and there's no one human that is any more worthy than another. Narcissism is about exaggerating your achievements, belittling, looking down on others, or taking advantage of others. Having a positive healthy self image is bringing up the world when you bring up your opinion of yourself. It's not about putting others down, it's about stopping putting yourself down. Narcissists always feel shame and humiliation when they don't feel perfect or better than. Positive self image knows that you're not perfect and that you don't need to be perfect. It's not the point. You are amazing because you're not perfect, because you are human. You don't feel slighted or contempt for others when you have a positive self image. You feel amazing and wonderful for others. What's amazing about a positive self image is that in order for you to choose to think positive thoughts about yourself, to overcome your primitive primal brain, the part of your brain that seeks negativity and seeks danger and seeks worry and doubt and frustration, you'll have to stop listening to and start talking to it with your prefrontal brain. I used to do mini triathlons, and I'll never forget during my training, we had an Ultraman come and give a little pep talk to our group. And if you don't know what an Ultraman is, it's an Iron Man times three. Three Iron Mans in a row. And we asked him, how on earth can you do that? And his answer was, I talk to myself more than I listen to myself. And I was like, oh my God, now that is one of the most profound things I've ever heard anyone say. I talk to myself, meaning I choose what I think with my prefrontal brain, and I tell it to my primitive brain, rather than listening to my primitive brain talk and rather than listening to my primitive brain. Talk to yourself instead of listening to yourself. I mean, genius. So, what do you want to say to yourself? Go back to it. Everyone thought what you wanted to think, and you've already achieved all the things you want to achieve. How would you want to think about yourself? If you could think whatever you want, because I have an update, you can. People are like, I don't want to think that I'm so great. I don't like people who are always bragging and thinking, they're so great. People that are always bragging about, how great they are, don't really think they're great. They think that they have to prove to you that they're great, so you'll think they're great. That is not what we're talking about. When you think highly of yourself, you don't have to tell everyone all the time, unless you're me and you're trying to teach other people how to do it. Like when I go out in the regular world, I'm not like, hey everyone, I'm great. Have you noticed I'm amazing? Because I sure have. But even if I did, people would think it's funny because it's not like I'm amazing and you're terrible. Sorry for your luck. I'm like, isn't it amazing to be alive on the planet right now? Isn't it amazing to be who we are and to have the opportunities that we have? I was reading in this book called Abundance, and it was talking about how this time in the world is so amazing. The safest longevity time we've ever lived, and you'd never know it if you listen to the news. But like disease, how long we can live, and the medical care that we can have. And for most of us listening to me right now, it's unsurpassed. Do we still have work to do? Yes. Do we still have to make sure that everybody has the same opportunity? Absolutely. But in terms of what is available to us now, it's amazing. And being able to look at ourselves and see how amazing we are, how lucky we are, and how wondrous it is, it's so fun to be alive for me and for you. I don't know what you think about you, but I know it feels a certain way. It either feels amazing and awesome, or it feels terrible. And that's 100% on you. Your feelings, your responsibility. So I'd like to give you some options of what you can choose to think about yourself. Now, the key is you want to choose thoughts that you can believe. So go into the thought dressing room and try on a few thoughts and see which ones work. I'll give you a few. I'm a human, and humans are capable of amazing things. I have an invitation to greatness because I'm human on the planet right now. I have big goals I'm capable of achieving. I'm strong. I'm 100% worthy and lovable by design, not by decision. This is a huge one, you guys. If you've never heard me say this before, hear me now. You don't get to decide that you are unworthy. Worthiness is not a decision. It just is. It's your birthright. You just are worthy, period. You can't believe that you're not worthy. You can believe that you're not worthy, but that doesn't make it you any less worthy. It's like looking in your bank account and seeing $100 million in there and deciding that you're broke. That doesn't make you broke. You are worthy. You are lovable by design, not by decision. Here's one of my favorites. Whatever created me knew what it was doing. So if you believe in God, you put, God created me and he knew what he was doing. The universe created me and it knew what it was doing. I was created on purpose, by design, by beautiful, amazing design. Just spend a few minutes just pondering the design that is you, your brain, your eyeballs, the veins in your body, your toes, your fingernails, all of it, your teeth. I'm telling you, it's freaking crazy just how amazing we are. And if you were to present a human as a gift to someone and like explain it like it was an Xbox and you're explaining a human, like everything that it is, the human, you'd be like, and it does this and it does that and it takes care of itself and it manages its own healing. Like you would just be going off on how amazing it is. And it talks and it turns food into poop. It grows itself. So fun to think about, right? This thing that we have, that is us. That is who we are. Another thought that I have is our brains mean well, but often has thought errors about me. Really helps me stay in the place of my own worthiness. I get to believe whatever I want about me without permission. Opinions are optional. They're not based on some arbitrary rules of reality. I get to believe that I'm beautiful, whether or not you think I am or not. I get to believe that. I get to believe if I want that I'm cute, that I'm strong, that I'm tall. Some people don't think I'm tall. I think I'm tall, especially when I wear heels. I get to believe that I'm smart. I get to believe that I'm funny. Even though my kids totally disagree, I'm like, listen, I have proof that I'm funny. I say something and then I laugh. Funny. It's the only proof that I need, my friends. I get to think all the great things about me. I don't have to check in with my kids to see if they agree because their opinions are irrelevant as to what I choose to believe about myself. And what I find is that when I believe positive things about myself, then I prove those things true. And when I think negative things about myself, I prove those things true too. I'm not sticking my head in the sand. I'm not looking at reality. I'm not pretending that I'm any better than I am. But I want to say that if that were the case, that's so much better than the alternative. So if you're someone who worries about getting too full of themselves or too proud of themselves or too into themselves, just remember who your creator is and that they and what they think about you. And just remember that the alternative sucks. And try it. Try having a high self-image of yourself just for a week. You don't even have to tell anyone. Just do it privately, secretly, and see how you show up differently. See how you feel differently. See how your life is completely different. You get to believe whatever you most want anyone to believe about you. You don't have to accomplish anything. You don't have to change your circumstance. You don't have to lose weight. You don't have to stop doing anything. You don't have to put on makeup or a different outfit. You can just be exactly who you are and change how you think about you. So that's my challenge. Thanks for hanging in there. Try it out, my friends, and please leave me a comment or share this with a friend that you think could benefit from this message. And I'll be talking to you soon. Namaste.